So welcome to the Lighting Challenge submission reviews and winner announcement. So this lighting challenge, I see lighting challenge number 35. We've had quite a few lighting challenges here at the Academy of Animated Art. And for those that don't know what the lighting challenge is, it's essentially where we give an asset, in this case an animation, and our community goes ahead and lights it to tell a story. Everyone puts their own kind of flavors and touch on it, and it's a great way to one focus on lighting predominantly for storytelling. I remember when the reason the back end of why this exists today is one of the big pain points, especially if you're a lighter, is to get good assets to light, right? And to you don't want to spend your time, which I remember doing back in the day, like modeling, animating, and then by the time I got to lighting, I was exhausted, but that was the core thing that I was trying to show off. So this is a way to, go through and find different assets that are ready to light. So you can see there's different variations. This is a set. Um, this one's one of my favorites, actually, the Monster Tea Party. But we are here to talk about the latest lighting challenge, which is Doesn't Make Any Sense. And this animation is from CG Riff by Fabio Pugliese, and it's called It Doesn't Make Sense. So this is a great collaboration we have with CG Riff, which is an animation school, and we are a lighting focused school, so hand in hand. And we get these great animations from their students, and then our students and community lights it. So let's take a look.
Check the spatial compositor. You put in Riff stabilizer. Doesn't make any sense. Well, why don't you just turn it off? I suppose.
So that's a great imagine. As a lighting artist, I wish I had animations like this. Like this one's super fun. So let's get into it. We have 4 submissions this round, and let's take a look at what the submissions are. Okay, first submission from David Johnson. Let's look. I'm already loving these colors, by the way. So apologies, I didn't start from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna loop it. Okay, there we go. So we can talk about it. What I love here is the use of color. And it's kind of this minimalist simplicity to me, but it's all done really intentionally and well, and it feels like it's all cohesive. So if we go here, we got and there's always some kind of interest in shaping, and the character never goes flat. Like even here, you see like there's a nice kind of values going on from that light, but then it goes to that being the main key light, but the value kind of is even along with it, where it's not flat, I mean, like it goes one key side to fill and then another key side and the other one kind of comes down a little. It would be very easy in that situation to have like multiple keys and then just feel like super overblown, but I'm not feeling that. So overall, I really like this. I think if I were to just say like one thing that I'd say is the background, like this far background back here, could go a little bit darker. So just give it like push it back and give it more depth and have these lights kind of more focused and concentrated, or kind of give it more of like a ambient, like a less ambient feel, right? And more kind of focused in little silos of light and then pockets of dark. So that's the one thing I'll say is uh, an opportunity here, especially like back here in the corners and whatnot. Like I would think that would not be so evenly like kind of flat back there. That being said, I actually don't mind it. It's like that's my one call out, but I'm kind of liking the look and the vibe here. So, and like I said, the color palette with the cool light, the blue and then the green and then the red, it all plays really well. It's a nice blend of colors. So, really well done. I'm really liking this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's go ahead and play. Ooh, okay. This is what I love about this lighting challenge. The difference and also what people add to the scene, right? For instance, hair in this case. Sometimes I have to go back to the original. Okay, so there was hair here, and there is hair here, but the hair here looks completely different. It's like it got combs. I'm pretty sure this person did like a little bit of grooming here on the hair, which is amazing, right? You add your little flares, and obviously you can also see here that there's a lot more things in the background here that they added, like the staircase. If I'm looking at the original, does not exist in the original one, right? So it's like, yeah, the addition of all these extra and the touches that you can add to add that more depth. Okay, now let's go and look at the lighting. I like the little pockets of light, the little areas in this lab. Um, I think, yeah, sorry, I'm just watching it as I go. Yeah, you're doing really good job with like the depth and the darkness back there. I think there's something interesting. I don't know what's going on. Like, I did notice, wait, what is it? Oh, is it like smoke here? That's, that felt a bit odd to me, to be honest with you. Like right here. That feels a lot odd if that's meant to be like smoke. I think we need a little bit better integration here, maybe some movement in that if that's the case. Honestly, I would remove it. It's a little bit distracting as you see. I just stopped the whole thing just to see what that was. I think now that we're on this frame, I like that he's got light coming up from the bottom, and it makes me think it's just like very strong, kind of fiery light. I think we can pull back on it just slightly so it doesn't get as hot there. And I feel like I would also want to see it a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot on the skin, but not so much on his shirt. It makes me wonder what's going on with the material on the shirt that it's reading so hot here but barely registering on the shirt. I wonder if that's like a light linking thing, but that's something just for like integration. Again, love all these like little pockets of light. You got the cool, you got the warm, and then I'm still, I'm feeling the sky back here. I think there is an opportunity. The light here on him, like this white coat, is standing out quite a bit. I know we still want to see this character, but I would bring it down and kind of add a little bit of shaping and direction there. Overall, let me see. Yeah, we're getting effect from that. Yeah, I'm looking basically see if we're getting the interaction from this light here. And we see that we are. One thing I was looking for, and it's probably there subtly, but it is a nice opportunity, I think maybe because I was looking at the other one, like to get a little bit of green or something like more of the cast on him. I think that would add a nice kind of interaction. Um, Yeah, but overall, I think it's great. Yeah, I'd bring down this lab coat is very glowy, so I'd work on that as well, just throughout, get a little bit more shaping on that. But overall, really good job. I love it. And like as everyone that's done this scene knows, lighting an animated scene versus a still is a lot more complicated, right? You have many different areas to light, also with the characters moving. That's really tricky to achieve well-balanced lighting as a character moves. And then you have multiple characters here. And we didn't even talk about these characters at the end that plop down. And I think, I like them, but one thing I'll say is I think they are getting a little bit too blown out. Also, similar issues with like the white coat here. I think we can get a little bit more shaping and darkening, especially like here. And maybe like the light is hitting them up here, but we get a little bit of darker there. So there's a little opportunity for more shaping there. But overall, amazing. I love it. I love the detail and the customization of the scene. Really great job. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so again, liking it. Further customization here too. I like the mood. It's like very dark, kind of like a evil lab going on. Really good playback here with the depth. Like where it goes, it's like we see it back there with the lighting, it's darker, yet I still see some detail. And that's where I think the trick is for lighting dark areas too, is like you don't want it to go all the way black, right? But you don't want it to be all the way lit. And how can you find shaping in that dark area? I find a good trick is like using specular lights too to kind of get that kind of shaping in darks. But overall, you did a really good job there. I'm liking the interaction also with the red light here. I think we did talk about this. It's like overemphasized, but I think it works, right? So that's really good there. All the interaction here I'm liking, and then here as well. I do think we can still kind of dim it down a little bit if I were to give some feedback on this, like right, put that pause button, where is it? Like right here, right? Like that's a little, the alert is there, but we should only be feeling it here, I think, on this side. This should not get so blurry. It might be like the subsurface that's a little bit too much, but this is getting a little bit glowy here. So I would pull that down a bit. Um, and and yeah, like I feel like if we want it to be affecting all this back here, I think maybe in a post we need to make the alert even like brighter to sell it a little bit more, to be honest. So like if I like the spec that's going on here, but it's a little bit, I'm looking at like, do I believe that this is coming all the way there? Maybe this is another light that I'm missing actually. Let me just check that. Yeah, it could be actually, oh yeah, it's coming from here. Okay, so it's this light. So that's why I was wanting to check it. So might be a mute issue for that. But I do think let's look into that because this I think could really use a little bit better shaping here on the face. But overall, really good. I think what's really working well here, like in the other one we just saw, this is super nice shaping, especially with the like the red hints here, but you see how it can recede. And the smoke also, you did a great job there. It's really integrating well. Yeah, and there's nice movement. But that guy doesn't have a head. Is that true? Anyway, okay, amazing job. Let's go on. Oh, you're right. It doesn't have a head. Okay, so this one again, I love the variation with everyone saying, and then I see, okay, this is a great thing to do, especially when you're dealing with animations and you can't necessarily render all the frames. And this is something we often do a lot when we're just working on a shot. We don't need to render all the frames for just reviews. Often we render this in twos, threes, sometimes fives if it's a really long sequence, just to get the idea of it. And this is exactly what's happening here, I suspect, and it's perfect. We get the idea of what the lighting looks like, and then the idea is once you finalize it and you're good with it, then you invest the time in rendering every frame. So great job in just like managing it here. I think overall I'm liking the variation and the different things that are going on. I think, let's see, if we were to stop it, let's stop it here. This is, there's something we need to work a little bit on the character lighting here. Because if we look, like even if I zoom in here, one, I think there's something going on with the lenses. So you might want to check the refraction and um, the number of rays you have going on there. But then also like just the shaping of him, while there's like a bright light coming here, I'm not feeling it. I see a little bit of cool, but then there's a super bright light hitting from here. And I suspect it's coming the direction from here, but this one feels like it's behind him. So I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be so strong here. So I think I would lean more into the direction like this is the light coming here, and then this would fall a little bit further. I think there is room too to just bring down the lighting overall and let the little lights that come on and off throughout the scene to kind of create that story of the light, like so it's like going seamlessly across. So that's one thing I'll say. Also, like the green, you see how the green back here is like very evenly lit throughout. We want to get some depth there, and it's interesting because in this cut, all of a sudden it's darker, right? So there is like a ramp from dark. So like let's say when it cuts there, but look, now we're getting it, but I would argue we're actually going too dark back there when it hits that. So I would even it out, get that kind of values in the green back here when we go across it, and then balance it a bit when we get close up so it doesn't go too extreme dark. And then the one thing, like, okay, so the interaction with this light here, we'll just go here, let's do a pause. Yeah, same here. I think like, I can see a little bit of interaction with the light, but here this side would not be as red, I'm assuming. And I'm also not feeling the redness. Like I'm seeing the warmth here, but I'm not feeling it on his coat. Or like even I would expect to see a little bit on this desk here. So I would work on that integration a bit. Watch out for hot spots like back here. It's getting super bright and hot. Yeah. And then overall, let's look at this guy. Okay, yeah, so this guy's getting very bright here too in these hot spots. So I would bring that down just a bit. I think what is working well is, he is getting some nice shaping here. I'm feeling like he's grounded in the foreground. He's kind of in its own light, so that works out. Um, but overall, yeah, I think one thing that could be cool to play with is if he was actually a little bit darker and then he has this one spotlight coming from up here, but then I'm intrigued by this right here, the little toy. Well, it's not toy, gadget, or whatever he's fixing, but it's a light itself. So that's why I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool if he went a little bit darker up here, and this light was more interacting with him, and I think that would be a nice play of light. Again, let's work on shaping, and then the last scene, let's just take a look at that. And the headless person. I think, yeah, I think it's working, but yeah, let's work on kind of getting similar to what the other shot I was pointing out. It just had really good shaping on these characters. Like it had a nice bright on top, but then it kind of falls a little bit into the shadows here, and it just felt really nicely integrated. Okay, so amazing, amazing work, everyone. So let's take a look who is the winner of this challenge. Um, so I am going to announce something a little bit different today. I'm going to announce two winners because I think there are two winners. So I like them all. And the first winner I'm going to announce is going to be um, my personal choice, which is this first one right here. And the reason why I personally am choosing this is because I love it's pure lighting. It's like the simplicity of it, and it's just a really nice play of color. It's almost like a color project to me right now. And I think the only thing I'll note is like let's bring back this a little bit into the darkness, but overall I think it's just like this minimalist color, pure lighting type of work, which I love. So congratulations, David Johnson. This is the first winner. The second winner, also I am a big fan of, and also the animator is a big fan of it too. And the animator's choice, although they said that everything has something special and unique, which I completely agree, they said if they had to pick one, they would pick doesn't make any sense right here, final. They said the quote from the animator is, I love the whole machinery you put in there. I agree. And the smoke at the end is a great touch. Really well done, and thank you. So this one, I really enjoy this one as well as I enjoyed all of them. It's like super moody, very different from the one I just showed here, right? That's what I love about it, and amazing job. Especially, I agree that smoke at the end and the shaping here of these characters. This whole shot right here working really well. So, with that, congratulations to both winners here, and thank you to CG Riff and the animator Fabio for having us light your amazing animation. So with that, thank you everyone, and as always, happy lighting.